In this episode, we're talking about a roguelike deck building twist on a classic arcade formula. It's Star Vaders. This and more on Indie Game Arcade. Welcome to Indie Game Arcade, a podcast that deep dives into the latest and greatest indie games. My name is Chris.
I'm Joseph.
When is the last time you played Space Invaders? Have you played it, like the giant one that they have in some of the arcades and stuff?
I think the last time I played it wasn't that long ago. It was like late last year because I went to a video game museum here in Dallas.
Oh,
yeah. And I believe they had a setup of that there that I played a little bit of.
I remember when you did that because you messaged me to tell me that you finally tried the ET game.
Oh yeah.
And it was just as bad as everyone told you it was.
So bad, so confusing. I think I just fell into a pit and then the agents got me.
The pit you can never freaking get out of.
Yeah, I don't even know how you're supposed to get out of it. It was wild. Anyway.
For whatever reason, E.T.'s neck is just infinite. Like, you can just stretch it and stretch it. And it makes that game
but it doesn't do anything.
Garbage.
Nothing.
It's pure garbage. Yeah. I had that as a kid. Like, we literally had it. And I would get so angry trying to play it because I loved the movie. And we would put it in and, you fall right into the pit and that's it. That's the experience. And then I get so mad. So then I wouldn't want to play anything else aside from Pong. But anyway.
I mean, that's a different kind of Space Invader, I guess.
Yeah. Let's talk. He's the wrong Space Invader. But we're here to talk about Star Vaders. Game start! So Star Vaders was released on April 30th, 2025. So it's been a little bit, but we want to give this game its due because we just started playing it. This was developed by Pengonauts, which was a great name. They were formerly known as Star Vaders Studio. Interesting. Published by Joystick Ventures and Playworks. Retails for $24.99. And for a quick description, this is a fusion of roguelike deck building, grid-based tactics, and Space Invaders, all set in a world where Earth is being overwhelmed by an alien threat, and mech pilots are being chosen to be sent into space to stop them. All with super cartoony, cute art.
Okay, let me tell you something that's going to be semi-related to everything we've been talking about recently.
Okay.
There's a French connection here as well.
French connection.
Pengonauts is not French specifically, but they are from Montreal, Canada, which the primary language is French in that city. Or is it a city? Yeah, it's a city. Or a province? Yeah, province, whatever.
No, that's the city. Quebec is the province, right?
Oh, province is Quebec. Yeah, Montreal is a city. Okay, I was right then.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they do speak French there.
Yeah, so French-Canadian. So again, the French are killing it.
God, French. Hey, save some for the rest of us, guys. Jeez. You guys are doing awesome. Okay. Yeah. You know what?
I'm so proud.
Hey, forgive us for that weird time period where we were calling them freedom fries. Can you please just forgive us on that? I ate your toast yesterday for dinner. I had your French toast. So we're on good terms, I promise. So this game is basically it's like grid-based tactics. So you have like a little mech that you're controlling, but you have cards, and those cards are what moves your mech around, does the attacks and everything. And the enemies are coming down from the top of this grid, a la Space Invaders. Now they're not moving down and then sideways and in that kind of fashion, and they're not moving in like real time. It is a turn-based.
At least not for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah. It's more of a turn-based kind of thing. It's really, really interesting the way they set this up. And I don't think I've really ran into another game quite like this. And I really, really like it. There's a lot of really interesting mechanics to pick at within this, like especially within the cards, but also within the idea that there are 3 different kinds of mechs that will have different play styles. So you've got your gunner mech, which is like more firepower. You've got your stinger mech, which is more agile, like better movement and more precision striking. And then you've got your keeper mech, which is like spells and summons, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So you've got the gunner, and then the gunner is literally just guns. Then you've got your other one, which is a ninja, and then this one is a wizard. So
yes.
Yeah, your ranged fighter, your ninja or stealth fighter, and then your wizard.
Yes. Why there's a wizard mech, I don't know, but I love it.
Love it.
It's great. And then you also, on top of that, you have different pilots for these mechs. And
3
the
pilots a piece, I think.
One of them has 4. The keeper has 4. So there's 10
I've not
total.
unlocked the keeper.
Yeah. So the gunner has Roxy, Noelle, and Zeke. Stinger has Shun, Holly, and Kaya. And then the keeper has Iris, Zen, Garu, and Sura. And each of them also changes the gameplay like completely as well, which is insane. Like they have their own abilities and cards and stuff.
It's so fascinating. Just the way that it's laid out and all the different options that you have, even though it seems kind of limited when you say there's only 3 mechs, but it's like 3 mechs with 3 or 4 characters per mech that also change up the gameplay. Like that's a lot of variety in that in and of itself. And then on top of that, you are customizing your deck like with any deck builder. So that's more customization on top of those various ways to play. So even on the surface, it might look like there's not a lot of options when you first start, but the more you play it, the more you'll see how much variety you can have between each run.
Yeah. One thing that's really cool too is because like I'm fascinated by the story of this as well. The more you play and even the more you lose, you're rewarded still with more lore and like backstory and stuff. Like every time you lose, you get more backstory of like the pilot that you are playing as. And that is fascinating to me. I love that.
Yeah. It's like a multi-part campaign and a lot of secrets. Things that like, I've played about 4 hours of it and I still am not, I haven't even scratched the surface of whatever this mystery is.
Yeah.
Like, even though I've won a couple runs of it, it's still just like revealing it to me in a slow but satisfying way where the mystery is intriguing enough to keep me wanting to come back for more. It doesn't feel like it's too slow or that I'm unlocking things too slowly. It's just like being paced out in a way that makes me want to keep going back for another one. It's like, okay, one more run. Let me see let me figure out what this story is. Let me get to whatever it's telling me I'm trying to unlock. Like, it's just been really satisfying. I think the runs are probably like, I'm going to say 30-ish to 45 minutes generally. At least those have been my experiences.
I'd say maybe even shorter than
you think so?
I'd say
maybe
25 to 30, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess it depends. But yeah, I think because I feel like I've had a couple runs that were only like 30 minutes. But yeah, like once you get in, like it can go pretty quick, especially if if you're able to clear the board pretty fast. And that's how you do win like around. And like how the game is set up is basically like you'll have a selection of different areas you can go to of whether it's like almost like distress beacons kind of pop up, and it will tell you what the reward is before
and what the difficulty is.
Yeah, it'll tell you the reward, the difficulty, and it like shows what enemies will be there, which is really interesting too, because if it's like, ooh, man, like right now, I don't want to deal with those like freaking onyxes with the shield over their heads, whatever those are.
Yeah.
Like, then I don't want to go here. The reward though might be worth it.
Yeah, but also like if you haven't encountered those enemies, then it will just be a question mark. Then you're like, oh crap, like I don't know if I'm ready to take this thing, but I really want that reward. So it's like definitely a risk reward system. And there have been times where I've jumped into something completely unprepared and been like, oh man, I should not have done this. I should have gone with the easy route.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it is well worth that risk.
Yeah, and I like too that the varying things you can get. So you can get like a new card. There's like two different types of cards, I guess. So you have basically your regular cards, your attack cards, and then you also have like your movement cards. So those are kind of like the two different cards, and there's tons of cards within those that you'll be like, able to find and choose things. And there's rares and uniques and all kinds of stuff. But like when you're like looking at, let's say, the distress beacons, you might have like three you can choose from. One is like a movement card reward, one's the attack, but one might just be like an upgrade. And that would be, if you go that route, you get it. What that's doing is like upgrading usually like the effect of one of your existing cards. And it could be like any of them. It could be movement, or it could be your attack cards, or sometimes it's adding an extra effect to them. And like those, you can keep stacking those too, which is kind of cool. And like sometimes those get like crazy. Like I remember one of them, I don't remember exactly how many times I got it, but like it's the one where you shoot the bullet up and then it splits kind of like in a T shape. And it hits,
the spot that it hits, it splits in a T shape in that same row. Left and right.
Yeah. So I upgraded that. Like I had bullets going everywhere from that thing. Like it split into an X and then it split into like a star shape. So I was hitting everything with that, and that was great. I also really like the one that ricochets and bounces around. Like it'll bounce off, like if someone has a shield, it'll bounce off of it. It'll bounce off the sides and just keep hitting stuff. And like if you upgrade that, the first upgrade I got was like if you did take an enemy out with that, that card will end up back in your hand again. You can play it again. And like there was one run where like I just kept using that, and I remember a few times I was able to just constantly just keep taking dudes out, and I was almost clearing the board like right away with that thing a couple times, and that was really, really cool.
I like the ones that summon like little robots for you. At least if you're the gunner, it'll summon little robots that will shoot when you shoot. And they're usually just temporary, so they'll get destroyed right after that round is over. But sometimes you just need something in a spot that you cannot quite reach or get to in time. So it's so helpful to have something else there shooting just to keep them from coming down and triggering. I can't remember what it's called when they get to the bottom and then they like basically like hit your zone thing. You have 4 or 5. Like
Doom, I think.
Oh yeah, Doom. It is. So they'll trigger Doom, and I think you can get up to 5 Doom. Yeah, at least at default before you lose the run. Then you lose the whole run. Yeah. So and the Doom stays there from round to round. There are ways to take it away as you. Some of the events will say like -1 Doom or something, and so you'll usually want to prioritize those if you are high on your Doom count, or just to keep it at 0. But that is a way to help, at least. Like all hope's not lost if you get any Doom. There are ways to mitigate that, but that's the way that you're going to lose is with that. So that doesn't become a problem until later in the run, really. And at that point, things can get so overwhelming that you're trying to cover all of this board like with just like your single turn. And it can get a little overwhelming, especially with some of the enemies that can jump like multiple spaces at once or something, or like come down in a weird kind of way. And then it's like, oh, how can I like make this happen? So you're having to think ahead a little bit, very chess-like, where it's like, okay, I know like right now I'll be safe, but in 2 to 3 turns, are they going to be able to get down here, or will I be able to move over there and get them? So it's a lot of like strategic thinking in that. So I appreciate the puzzle aspect of it. And the graphics are just very satisfying to look at. It sounds great. And yeah, just overall, the gameplay has been so fun. Even in the short time I've played it, it's just been a really rewarding experience. And I've never left a run feeling like, oh, I got cheated out of that, or that was too easy or too hard. It's just all felt just right to me. And I'm excited to see like what else it has in store. story-wise, especially.
Yeah, big time. Like there's just so much allure to this because of like the way this story is like structured so far. And because there's so many unlocks, like there's so many pilots to still unlock.
I was just reading there over 400 unlockables, which is wild.
That is crazy. I want to say like so far, my favorite pilot right now is Noelle because she has the one
is
card.
She the one that has the freeze? Like it freezes the card?
Yeah, she does have freeze. Yeah, where you can freeze a card, which is great. I love that. And then she also has the card where you can move like an object, and you can either use it to move yourself or you can move an enemy. And like one of the things I love doing with that is, especially if it's like an enemy that like I know I'm not going to be able to move to, either I can move myself, or what I like to do more is if sometimes there's some enemies that will telegraph like they're gonna do an attack or something, and you'll see like the kind of like attack zone and stuff. I'll like use that card to move a different enemy into their line of fire. So it's basically giving me like a free attack. So then I can use my other attacks, like those cards, on dudes that are already, close to me in my line of sight. But yeah, that's super fun and satisfying. So yeah, she's like my favorite so far. Though I do enjoy Roxy, and like the use of bombs with Roxy is a lot of fun, especially like just planting bombs all around that grid and then getting like a detonator or something. Oh my God, it is so fun.
I had an artifact or whatever that made it where every time I started a level, like just I think 3 bombs would just spawn automatically in like randomly in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I got that at one point too. That was great.
Yeah, even with the randomness of it, it's still super. It was more helpful than it wasn't just to have that there blocking paths. And sometimes it would line up in such a perfect way that's like, oh man, I can just chain kill all of these things together.
Yeah, man, it is very satisfying. It's one of those things that's like kind of scratching a part of that part of my brain. Kind of like you had brought up where it's like, I really love roguelikes and things like that too, but this also uses that idea of like the sort of forward thinking you have to utilize with chess, where it's not just like, doing the next move. It's also anticipating, the next several moves. And like this game is very, very much a part of that. And I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate those types of gameplays. Get me thinking, and also good to look at. And I've only really played as Roxy. Like I know I have Noelle, but I haven't really. I played as her once, and I didn't really understand what the freeze thing was doing, so I just moved back to Roxy because she's just a really good starting character. But I'm very curious to see. Like I didn't even like. I unlocked the ninja mech, but I haven't even touched that one yet. So there's still so much for me to do. Even in the 4 hours I've spent in it, just playing Roxy, I've still had a ton of fun, and all my runs have been so varied that branching out was a frightening like thing for me to do. But I know I will do it, and I'll still have a good time with that. But like that all is to say, like even just with the small portion of the game I've actually been playing, it's still been so fun.
So the freeze thing that Noelle has, it's basically like, because we've been playing Monster Train 2. And we talked about in the last episode. So it's basically, think of it as like permafrost, but it's like automatically.
So it keeps the card in like your hand?
It keeps it in your hand for the next round. But it's like randomly applied to one of the cards that's just left over in your hand once you're done. So it's like, let's say if you use up all of your attack cards, and like the only cards left in your hand are like movement cards, it's going to choose one of those movement cards, right? And it'll carry that over into your next hand. But,
sure,
if it's like, let's say, I have this one, I don't know, maybe you've got one to throw a bomb or something out there, but it's just like they're not in range for it just yet. Then like if you use up all your other cards and all right, well, the bomb card's going to be the one that gets frozen because it's the only one left, then that's really handy. So, but yeah, that's basically how it works.
So it's like strategizing around the freeze.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try it out eventually. again, I just had been having so much fun with just Roxy that I hadn't really branched out, but I know I should, and I will.
It's cool. And like Noelle's, the small bits of Noelle's story I've been getting after losing with her has also been really, really intriguing too.
Oh, like, yeah. What is super cool is that you do get story specific things or character specific story as you play as them. It's not just showing you the grand story. So that is awesome that they all have their own like branching paths. So it does matter who you play as if you want to see like that person's contribution to the overall story.
And it's interesting too, because it's like you do learn more about what's going on in this world through their stories. But yeah, you are getting a more personal story with them. And like some of it's kind of sad, to be honest. Like, yeesh. So you'll see. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah.
No, I don't know yet, but I believe it.
Yeah, it gets a little sad. So, but I got to recommend this one, man. I've had so much fun with this. This is like one of those ones because we've got like the shared library thing. If you're playing like Monster Train, I'm playing this one. If you're playing this, I'll be playing Monster Train. Like, I'm just gonna be going back and forth between those because that's what I did this
week. Is on Game Pass at least. I just had to buy it because I knew I was going to anyway.
Yeah, I told you too. I was just like, hey man, you don't have to buy it. It's on Game Pass. And then I saw it just popped up in the library, and I'm like, well. All right.
I mean, I just want to make sure that they know that they're being supported and that they keep making awesome games like that.
We want you to know that we love you. So
you're loved. Yeah. You're important.
Thank you, Shiny Shoe. And also thank you to Pengonauts for making Star Vaders, because it's an excellent game. And what a cool twist on like the Space Invaders kind of shtick, because who saw that coming as like
maybe
something?
Maybe we should remake an ET type game.
Oh like, shit!
Make
Pitfall.
It playable. Make
Pitfall
it somehow
is what it's called.
Good. No, we have to make it where it's like it plays just like ET would, but better. Like all the ideas that ET the game had, we make it actually function. And then just call it like, I don't know, Alien Guy.
Alien Man.
Instead of Alien Man.
It reminds me of those like knockoff toys that you see at like the dollar stores, like Family Dollar.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like ET, but it's just like Alien Man.
Right. Or like it'd be a Star-Lord toy called like Space God.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Yeah. Let me write that.
We got to try. Just give it a shot.
We're on it.
Yeah, but I no complaints at all about this game so far. Again, I'm early into it, but I can't see myself just not liking it all the way through. Highly recommend it if you like roguelike deck building games, and if you're just interested in trying something really unique, because like you said earlier, I just haven't played anything like this to my knowledge.
Yeah, I just love the idea that they basically took this game, like almost like the tiniest premise of a game everyone's familiar with, and then just blew it up and made it like such a cool experience and put so much heart into it. Like, they didn't even need all the story beats to it. Like the gameplay was enough to like sell me on it. So everything else is just icing on the cake.
100%.
A delicious cake.
The most delicious cake.
The most delicious Alien Man cake.
Yeah.
Power up. Hey, if you're enjoying this episode so far, do us a favor, throw us a like, a follow, share the episode or the podcast with folks who love indie games so we can get more of these game recommendations out there and support indie game devs. We also have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/nerdsloth where you can catch us playing more indie games, or check out our top 5 or top 10 series for more indie game recommendations, because we believe there is an indie game out there for everyone. Combo! Let's talk about some other games we've been playing this week. I got 2 more for you, my friend. Do you want to hear about yo-yos or fishing first? I'm going to let you pick.
Do yo-yos, because I'm more familiar with fishing stuff.
All right. So Pipistrello and the Cursed Yoyo is releasing on May 31st. This is developed by Pocket Trap. This is a 2D top-down action adventure game that looks very much like almost kind of like a Game Boy Advance style, like pixel graphics and everything, real retro feel. And also soundtrack, very good. But basically, you were playing as this little bat guy, like kid named Pippet, who is a novice yo-yo master. He did place in the yo-yo tournament. He was like, I think 300 something, but it's still placing. He lives with his aunt, who is like the head of some like company, corporation. And these like 4 like ruffian dudes, like mafia kind of guys, like bust in, these 4 crime lords who have taken this technology that his auntie had basically kind of created, use it against her, and it kind of like he tries to save her by tossing his yo-yo to like stop the beam. Instead, it gets her body or it gets her essence or something trapped into his yo-yo. That is where the cursed yo-yo part comes in. So now she is inside of his yo-yo. The crime lords disassemble the machine and they go their separate ways. So you as Pippet are navigating the city, fighting foes, and trying to restore your auntie and get all of the pieces back of this thing. So it is like lots of exploration, puzzle solving in a very like like Legend of Zelda-esque kind of way. But all the fighting and everything is done through your yo-yo. So he uses it to fight. It's for traversal. It's for solving the puzzles. One of the things I love is like all the stuff you can do with it. Like you can bounce it off of stuff to hit enemies at angles and things. It's really cool. Like I played the demo and just like you'll see enemies in different patterns and stuff. And like my instinct is to like walk around these things and, use my yo-yo to go boom, boom, boom and hit them. And then all of a sudden, like I'll just notice an angle and I'm like, wait a minute. If I throw my yo-yo at the angle of this room, what if that works? And you do it and it'll like snake around through this like random like thing, hitting all these like different corners and stuff. And then it'll end up hitting like all the enemies and take them out. And it's just so satisfying to do that. There's also a bunch of badges and stuff that you can collect that all will give you different kinds of passive abilities that you can equip. It was really fun. It's got like a cool retro vibe to it. Just the mechanics of the yo-yo and the different things that you can do with it just felt really innovative. Like I don't think I've played a game that utilized an attack or like mechanics like this before, which kind of surprised me. This feels like a game that Nintendo would have created back in the day, like in the 90s or something. So I can't recommend this more. It is a lot of fun.
It does look really cool. And what's funny about that is like before you even brought that up, I knew what you were talking about because I had looked at that game as something that I was considering bringing to the show as something I was looking forward to. But you've already taken
I've stolen your thunder
and have played it. No, it's fine. I chose not to anyway, but I know exactly what you're talking about game wise. So.
Yeah. It is so cool, man. Like cool. You should get your hands on it, play it. If you don't play the full game, try the demo out. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think I will because I was interested for sure.
Let's talk fishing. We like fishing games, and
maybe it depends. Is this like a fishing RPG?
Yeah, it's a nice day for fishing. Comes out on the 29th. This is developed by Fusion Play. It's literally, that's the name of the game. Nice day for fishing. This is a fishing-based RPG with a very funny premise. So before I go any farther with this, explaining the game, I was wondering about this because part of this, and I want to say it didn't feel this way playing the game, but seeing some of the graphics in the marketing and stuff surrounding this game made me think this has to be based off of something, or there's some inside joke or something I'm not getting. So I did some digging. I found out this is based on a sketch comedy group called Viva La Dirt League, which is based out of New Zealand. They have a series called Epic NPC Man, and it's sort of a spoof of games like Elder Scrolls, World of Warcraft, Baldur's Gate. But this game centers around one of those characters named Balin, who is a fishing NPC in this world that is a living, self-aware MMO. So these muggers open up a cursed chest, which causes all the adventurers in this MMO to permanently disconnect. And because Balin was like right next to them, it suddenly turns him into a level 1 adventurer. But he's still like, the only thing he knows how to do is fish. So like that's like, even though he's an adventurer now, he can level up, he can equip gear. He's still really just a fishing NPC at heart. So all of his attacks and everything he does, it all revolves around like just fishing. And he he can only say like 3 things no matter what the conversation is. And it is so funny every time. His 3 things are morning, good day for fishing, and and that's the only things he can say. And every time he says good day for fishing, I was laughing hysterically because someone's giving like all this exposition or something to him, explaining like the situation. Like there's this sorcerer that keeps coming in and honestly keeps screwing everything up, but is trying to explain like a dire situation, and he'll just be like, good day for fishing. And just I'm just dying. But the mechanics of this are actually really decent for battling, even though it's just like really catching and reeling things in. But there's a lot of timing involved, and there's also like spells. There's even a pairing mechanic that you have to like, you really have to time just right to actually parry. So I was like, immediately thought of you. I was like, pairing system. Joseph will like that.
I do.
There's a leveling system. There's items. There's platforming. There's just so much more than I expected. Like, I really thought this was just going to be kind of a silly game where, you know, you just catch the fish and that's pretty much it. But like, you really have to fight those fish doing spells and strategize and do all kinds of things. And like even the boss fight, like there was a boss fight in the amount that I played. And even though it's also like one that you're like trying to reel in, even though he's like this flying boss in the air shooting like magic beams and fireballs and stuff at you, you're still just trying to reel him in like he's a fish. But like you have to like, there's so much you have to parry, or like you have to parry. So it's just really interesting in that way. If you've played a lot of fantasy RPGs too, the amount of jokes at the genre's expense is so good. They just are just left and right. One of my favorite running gags too, because there's a lot of them, is this one NPC, the blacksmith, who is constantly losing his blacksmith hammer, but it's always in the same spot, which is down this well, which is like 10 feet away. And every time you visit him, he's just like, oh yeah, I'll get you this. If you could find my hammer, I have no idea where it is. It's just always in the same spot. It's just down this goddamn well. So every time. But yeah, man, it was so much fun. I haven't laughed that much playing a game for a really long time. And what's more too is like the pixel art looks good. The story is actually really decent, like really good. There's so much to it, so many mechanics, so many systems to it. It's just way more than I ever would have expected a game like this to be. And so I think it really, really deserves some attention.
It looks and sounds like super interesting. I'm definitely sold on it.
It's worth the time. It is definitely worth the time. Final round! Let's talk about some upcoming indie games we're excited about. I've got a few here to mention. First of all, the DLC for Sea of Stars has dropped, Throes of the Watchmaker. I have not started playing it yet.
I need to play that game.
Oh, please do. Please do. I want to talk to you about it.
I kickstarted it and I still haven't touched it.
I know. What's wrong with you?
So many things.
Yeah, I've got to play it. I am so excited to get into that. It looks so good. Man, the art of that game is just so fantastic. I kind of want to, I don't even have a record player, but I kind of want to get the vinyl of that soundtrack.
Oh, I have a record player and the vinyl of that soundtrack.
Yeah, I forgot you do have it. I've
listened to the music. I just haven't played the game.
The music's so good too, man.
It is great.
So good. Also, Voidsayer is coming out on June 2nd. This is like Eldritch Pokemon, essentially. It's
I was just looking at that game. That looks cool.
It's monster catcher battler, very Darkest Dungeon style graphics and everything, but yeah, it's like eldritch beings and stuff and monsters that you're battling.
I do want to tell you my concern initially was that it was AI art, but it doesn't say anywhere that it is, and you have to like list that now when you do that on Steam.
Right.
So if anyone goes in assuming that, like, at least up front, like, it doesn't have it listed anywhere, so We just have to trust that it's not. And
I had the exact same concerns.
Okay. Yeah. Because I have seen, that's not to like discredit this artist at all. I've just seen AI art similar to this. So you always have to double check these things when you're able to.
You know what? Like I've kind of gotten into a habit of almost every game I check out now, I scroll to the bottom of that Steam page to see.
That's actually a good plan.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie. There have been some that have been like, oh yeah, this looks like a cool game. Then I see it and I'm like, and then I don't bring it to the show because I'm like,
Yeah, same.
I don't like, at least with the art and stuff, like, I feel slightly different when it's like AI being used to control the function of NPCs, because that's like creating something new in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like, if like the NPC itself is controlled by AI, like actively reacting to you because it is based on a language model or whatever.
Yeah. That conceptually, I think that is an interesting avenue.
Yeah.
But when something is just like straight using AI art, well, it's like, that's being sourced from somewhere. So that's theft to some degree.
Yep. I don't even want to entertain that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just avoid anything using it for art purposes for sure.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we've even had, and I do want to say thank you to all the indie developers that have been reaching out to us, especially like right now. We've got a really long backlog in our email that I need to get through. Sorry, folks. I'll get there. I promise. But we've had some in the past that have used AI art for their games. And unfortunately, we're just like, we could not. Yeah, we didn't want to support it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but if they ever replaced their art, with, someone that actually makes art, then, we'll come back to us and we will do that. There was one that was extremely blatant that we caught right away.
I do remember you showing me that one.
Yeah, and it was completely ripping off a very, very well-known IP. So I was not pleased about that one. But anyways, so yeah, we'll see what Voidsayer's like when it comes out. I'm really interested in that one.
It does look interesting.
One that I'm very confused about. So I see Deltarune chapters 1 and 2 releasing on June 4th. I could have sworn Deltarune's been out for years. So I don't know.
Are you sure it's not like it wasn't the early access it was out or something?
It might have been. I'm not sure. But like, if so, I think it's been in early access since like 2018 or something. So
some stuff is for a long time.
Yeah.
Is this like a blah, 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 blah. What is the game I'm thinking of? The skeleton guy.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So this is a companion game to Undertale.
Undertale. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So same developer, Toby Fox, fantastic developer, extremely, extremely talented. Undertale, like, honestly, you ask anyone that's been like in the indie game, like scene, they'll tell you probably one of the greatest indie games of all time. Yeah. Deltarune is like a companion game to that. It's essentially like, from what I understand of the story, and I haven't played it, it's like the events that are taking place like parallel to what's happening in Undertale. And so like it's using like similar look, feel, design, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, duh, it's Undertale because Deltarune is an anagram of Undertale as I look at the word.
Oh, God damn it. All right. Well, you know what, though? You caught that before me. And let's be honest, I was never going to catch it. So, all right.
I mean, that's a cool anagram, though. That sounds like a totally separate thing. Nice.
Yeah. But like one of these days, I want to give it a shot. I do. I've never played either of them. And I know someone just gasped. Someone somewhere just gasped.
I have played Undertale, but I haven't beaten it. I only played it briefly.
Yeah, I watched you play that.
Yeah, God, that was so long ago.
And I will say, like, I've watched multiple people play Undertale all the way through. So I know the entire story. I've seen the entire story play out multiple times, but I haven't played it myself all the way through. So one of these days I will do it for my own, and then maybe I'll get into Deltarune as well. But I mean, it's Toby Fox. He's a genius when it comes to storytelling and the music. Oh my God, he's so good with the music. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, Ruffy and the Riverside finally got a release date for June 26th. So very excited
Yeah.
for Patrick and Socrates Labs. Real excited for this to come out. Like
Man,
when this
what
comes
a cool
out,
experience.
yeah, dude, when this comes out, I'm going to be playing the heck out of this game. So I might disappear for a little bit just playing it. So heck yeah.
One I wanted to bring up is one that came out recently, May 23rd. And it was an early access for a while. I didn't play the early access because I don't usually, but this one's Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon.
Yes, I know
gameplay
all
wise
about that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Gameplay wise, it would be most reminiscent of Skyrim or something to that effect. It looks like one of those Bethesda games because of the first person perspective and the way that you interact with NPCs and the way that combat looks. I'm sure it's more nuanced than that in different ways, but that's just in first appearance, it's what it looks like. But it's a dark reimagination of an Arthurian legend. And it is an action RPG. It's open world. It looks so cool. There's a lot of different like styles of like playing it, like customizing your character to play it how you want to. So I'll read you some of the text here that I found just entertaining. It's like, you want to be a crazy alchemist berserker punching enemies to death? Sure. A mystical blacksmith mage summoning undead hordes? We've got you covered. A stealthy archer lurking in the shadows? Say less. This is a game for stealth archer enthusiast. So it's basically like any way you could think of that you could play it in like Skyrim or whatever. It's probably that, but expanded out in a lot of different ways. So that in and of itself is exciting. And it's a pretty like big story too. It seems like, I think it was quoted as saying like 50 to 70 hours of content, at least just in the base game. So that in and of itself is a ton. Looks really cool, and looks
so good.
Yeah, I just love the like whole Arthurian legend kind of style of that. I have a different game that has or a couple different games probably that have similar takes on like a dark Arthurian legend. And so that just the premise of it is intriguing to me. But yeah, I'm very excited. I haven't purchased this one yet, but I plan to in the near future. I may play the demo first to see how it feels. But yeah, that's the one that I'm looking forward to playing soon.
Man, yeah, it looks amazing. Stylistically, like I know the game gameplay wise plays like Skyrim, right? Stylistically looks a lot like Elden Ring, especially with like some of the bosses and the monsters and NPCs and creatures and stuff you run into. And also just like the grandiose look of the world and everything. And also just how dark and, I don't know, demented some of it looks. Oh, dude, it is sick looking.
Yeah. And I think you can go third person with it as well, which I think they added later towards the end of the early access based on request for that. So I appreciate that you can play it in different ways if you like. Yeah. Because I'm not a huge fan of like first person in games like that. So I will probably go third person.
You were talking about like how you like, you've got a few games that talk about dark Arthurian legends. So I know one of them that has some of that included in it, which is Raven's Watch.
Yes.
Okay. And do you know the studio that developed Raven's Watch? Do you know what country they're from?
Oh, I can imagine. Is it also French?
Yeah, it's another French game.
Oh, of course.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm gonna go get my baguette real quick and I'll head over. I'll pick you up. We're heading to France.
Oh my God. You know what's interesting? I just found out. So Tainted Grail, the one I was just talking about,
yes,
Fall of Avalon, that is I guess an extension of this game that I already have called Tainted Grail Conquest, which is a deck building dark fantasy roguelike game that I really liked. I had no idea those two were tied together because I forgot this was called Tainted Grail also. But that's even cooler. So now I've already played the predecessor to it, which is a much different game, of course, but it's the same stylistically.
I did know that they were connected, but I did not know which one came first. So that's really cool. Love that.
Yeah. So very cool. Looking forward to it.
Game over.
If you had a good time listening to this episode, stick around for the bumper to learn how you can support the show and all the things we do here at Sloth Creative. You can also check out our show notes for our link tree, which will take you to our social media, our Discord, our subreddit, our merch store, tons of other cool places. Get in touch with us, though. Let us know what indie games you're playing and help us elevate these games so we can help support indie developers. But that's game over for us. My name is Chris.
I'm Joseph.
And we'll continue on the next episode.
Continue.
Indie Game Arcade is recorded and produced by Sloth Creative. If you're looking for more gaming content, head over to youtube.com/nerdsloth for indie game let's plays and recommendations. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/nerdsloth, where you can select a pledge and receive access to hundreds of hours of bonus content from everything at Nerdsloth Creative. If you're an indie game developer and would like us to review your game or explore other opportunities, send an email to nerdslothcreative@gmail.com with the subject line Indie Game Arcade. Thanks for listening, and keep supporting indie game devs.